There's a six-letter word that can strike fear, crush hope, and change a person's life forever. That word is cancer. Currently, 1 in 4 people in the United States are dying because of cancer. Good morning and welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm Gail Pereira, your host. Today we're going to talk about cancer and how it impacts a person and their family. And we have with us 2 very special guests. Please join me in welcoming Dave Balch. He is the founder of the Patient Partner Project. And please also welcome Christine Shively. She is the founder of Knots of Love. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Boy, that was a lot to get out in one. Today, what I'd like you to do to start is to tell us a little bit about your organizations.
Go ahead.
Whichever one's first.
I'm the founder of Knots of Love, and at Knots of Love, our primary goal is to brighten the lives of those in need. We make hand-knitted and hand-crocheted chemo caps for cancer patients and other people with life-threatening illnesses. And we have currently 120 cancer centers all over the United States and Canada that we ship to. We ship over 1,600 caps a month. We have 120 centers just in California that we ship to. And we have members all over the country who make caps for us and send them to Knots of Love. And then I ship them out.
Wow.
We make a lot of people very happy.
That's fabulous.
Thank you. Thanks.
And tell us a little about what you did.
Well,
Dave.
I was caregiver for my wife through 4 bouts of breast cancer. And when it was over, she's doing fine now, by the way. And I take all the credit.
That is great.
Of course.
That is great.
But I decided that I wanted to do something to help other people that were going through what we went through. So I started the Patient Partner Project, and there are several components. Most of it's free services for patients and their partners. We have a website, thepatientpartnerproject.org, where people can post progress reports and keep their family and friends updated on what's going on. And there's a book called Cancer for Two and the DVD. And so I'm also a professional speaker, and I go around speaking to nurses and patients and about our experiences and coping strategies, basically.
Fabulous. Well, let's talk about cancer, because it seems like we're hearing more and more about people having cancer than I ever remembered when I was growing up. How does cancer impact a family and the person who's diagnosed with it?
Well, other than the most obvious one, which is worry, there's a couple of other things I don't think people really think about. Of course, you're worried, but now that you've got cancer to deal with, there's all kinds of new things that you have to do that you never had to do. And the problem with that is they have to fit into a schedule that people are used to, they have their routine. Now all of a sudden they got all this other stuff to do in addition to all their regular routine. So it's a huge schedule change. And there's time pressure to get everything done in addition to what they've always gotten done.
So they've got this worry, and then all of a sudden it's compounded by how is everyone in the family or of the friends going to help them get things done? Well,
the people in the family have to do all the activities they're used to doing. Plus now they've got appointments and tests and recovery and surgery and all these other things that may have to be done that they got to fit into that schedule. Plus, people in the family have to start doing new things that they didn't have to do before. Like if the mother gets ill, then somebody's got to do the laundry and the housework and if that's what she does. And it's a big shift. A lot of people don't know how to do these things.
What about the emotional impact in terms of, we're talking physical right now, we're talking, people are going to have to move faster and change, right. But you've also got a situation where somebody is suddenly at risk of maybe not being there in the future. Christine, have you seen that happen?
I have. I have seen that firsthand. With Knots of Love, our focus is more when people lose their hair and their self-esteem issues and how their family members are going to perceive them when they have lost their hair. Many of the people that we donate our caps to have written me notes and sent me emails and telling me that, gosh, I just can't believe that there's an organization out there that someone is making a cap just for me, and someone is taking time just to make a cap for me. And when I put on this cap, I feel pretty again. And it just helps them so much. And they have a long day in the wig, and they don't like to wear the wig, and then they wear the caps. And it's just, people don't understand how it affects them when they lose their hair. I mean, your hair is just a big part of you.
Big part of you,
when you
absolutely.
lose it, it's just, it's pretty devastating to people.
So you see a self-esteem, I mean, obviously a self-esteem issue with the hair. You see a fear of the future?
Sure, there's a fear of the future, what's going to happen, how long will it be until we find out what's going to happen, because then there's a period of uncertainty. And then there's dealing with other people, which causes a
What do you
tremendous
say?
amount of stress.
How do you tell somebody? In other words, you find this out. You go in for a routine doctor's appointment. You think it's routine, or maybe there was some small symptom that you go in for and you're thinking it's the same as 1,000 other times, and all of a sudden it's this, well, now you have to see an oncologist.
Oncologist.
Yes. So then you go in there and you don't tell anyone. So at what point does this start to come out to the family and to the friends?
You know, everybody has to handle it their own way. Some people, that's all they can talk about. And as soon as they find out, they're on the phone telling everybody they know. And some people don't want to tell anyone. I know a woman who didn't even tell her husband. So, you know, and every shade in between. But the real problem with dealing with other people is not just telling them, but dealing with them, offering to help. Sometimes they'll offer to help doing things that you don't want them to do, like clean your house. Well, that's very generous, but I didn't want anyone cleaning my house, you know.
Coming into your space
Well,
at
yeah,
that point in
going through
time
all
where you
my
had your
stuff.
privacy.
Yeah. And then there's people that won't take no for an answer. They want to help. They think they know what's best for you, and they insist and they insist and they insist, and it's really very stressful. People cannot do that. I mean, they should not do that.
Well, but the interesting thing from being on the outside, you know, in other words, being a person who might know somebody who's going through this, let's say myself, what do you say? You know, what is the right thing to say? Or if you're a family member, what is the right thing to say? You can't say, you know, oh, you know, I'm sorry. I mean, you can say that, but it doesn't, it sounds disingenuous. What does a person do?
I think the best thing to do when you don't know what needs to be done or what they would like is to ask. You know, people make the mistake of following the golden rule, which is not always the best thing to do. For example, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But that's not right, because that's saying that you want to treat other people the way you want to be treated.
But you don't know how you would be treated in that situation, so you're right, it's hard to...
Well, you need to know, you want to treat them the way they want to be
Yes.
treated. And the only way to find out how they want to be treated is to ask.
But what do? You say, hi, now that you have cancer, you know, what do you want? I mean, what do you say?
I want to do anything I can, but I don't want to be more of a burden. So you tell me what you need, and I'll be happy to do it. And if you don't need anything, that's okay too, because some people insist on helping because it makes them feel better. And that's not what's important. What's important is to make the patient or the family feel better.
But wouldn't it be that most people, when you'd ask, in other words, you have the caps, no one's going to say, can you get me a cap from Knots of Love?
Actually, yes. I received many, many emails.
From friends
From friends, from parents, from a number of different people that said, my so-and-so was just diagnosed. I saw your website. Would you please send a cap to such and such? So they're asking, just like Dave is saying, they're asking.
That's a great,
It's a really good
that's
thing to
actually
do.
a great idea.
Yeah.
When you think about that, is you see it and it is almost like a gift basket, but it's a cap.
So it's along the same
yeah.
lines as what Dave is saying. Just ask the person who is going through this horrible illness what you would like or what they would like, and most of the time they'll tell you.
And if you want to get them a cap, find out what their favorite colors are.
Exactly.
If they hate yellow, don't get them a yellow cap. And just as an example. So this way you can get them something that's practical and something that they really like because of the color.